today's webinar, Charting Markets Beyond the Guesswork, Building a Winning Portfolio with a Simple Systematic Trading Strategy. So just allow me to quickly introduce this series of webinar. This series of webinar is under the Learn from the Pro series of educational events brought to you by CGS International. And there is a web page on this one. If you want to, you can scan the QR code on screen. I will also share the URL on the chat box. So allow me just to cut and paste for you. So you can always reference to this URL, this web page, for past recording, especially for like Wei Ren's session. He has done previous session where he actually shared a lot more about how he looks at the chart and more of the technical aspect of it. So if you need to just go back to some of the previous webinar to understand a bit more of the charting, because tonight he will look more at the application itself and also at the market. So, and also, of course, today's webinar will be recorded and also will be uploaded onto the web page as well. So if you want to rewatch the session or some of the friends who might be interested, they can always go back to the same page to rewatch or watch the recording. So that's a quick intro. The Learn from the Pros, this series, we have 3 experts that we have specially invited to share with us. We have Kong Hao. Kong Hao will come back again end of November to share with us about his market outlook. Sing Fu will be sharing with us more about his super stock strategy. That will be next year. And of course, tonight we have Wei Ren. And just want to take the opportunity to share with you guys something very exciting. We are organizing an event with ERA, the property company. It will be an exclusive event presented between ERA and CGSI, and it's happening on the 9th of November, 2 p.m. It's a Saturday. It will be at the ERA Apex Center. It's a very beautiful auditorium, and it's just next to the Toa Payoh MRT. So it's very convenient. So for those who are interested, do take the opportunity to register. Seats are limited because there is limited seating capacity. So if you're interested, please go ahead and just register for your seats at the Eventbrite. I'm sharing the URL as well in the chat box. You can also, of course, do a scan on a QR code. And of course, feel free to share this with your friend. You can bring along your friends and family as well to attend this session. We are very happy to have Mr. Song Seng Woon, a very renowned economist, to present to us about the Singapore market outlook. Of course, we have our very own Long Man Yi, Deputy Head of Research for CGSI, and of course, Ms. Doris Ong and Eugene from ERA to share with us a lot about the property outlook, and also, of course, for those who are interested, investment in physical real estate as well in Singapore. So definitely an event not to be missed. So do take the opportunity to register if you are interested. So with that out of the way, let me just come to today's session. So a quick disclaimer. Do bear in mind that whatever presented today is for educational purposes only. It is not an inducement or recommendation for investment or stock recommendation. So if you want to do investment or trading, do your due diligence and consult your licensed financial broker or advisor. And of course, we'll be taking questions in today's session. So all questions are welcome. Do key in any questions you have in the Q&A box. You can also put in the chat box, but chatting is more for like comments. If you can, do put most of the question, if not all the questions, in the Q&A box. But we also look out for chatting your comments on the chat box itself. And if you wish to speak and ask questions directly, you are more than welcome to. You just need to click on the raise hand icon, and I can unmute you, and you can speak and ask questions directly to Wei Ren. So with that out of the way, let me quickly just introduce to you Wei Ren. Okay, so this is just a synopsis of what this charting market is about. It's about a simple and non-discretionary way to look at the market and to decide on your trading decision. And of course, Wei Ren is a certified chartered market technician and a market strategist with CGSI Research with over 12 years of experience. So I shall not spend too much time. I think most of you know him very well. I shall now pass on the stage to Wei Ren. Wei Ren, please go ahead.
Hi. Thank you, Nixon, for the kind introduction. And I believe that most of you have known me for quite some time already. So this is part 3 of the series. So it has been 2 months since we last started. So wait, let me just okay. So you can see that are you all seeing my slides? If yes, please type one or just simply acknowledge that you can see my slide and hear me well. All right, before we start, all right, because don't want to miss out anybody on this. Okay, yes, okay, thanks, Nixon. And the rest, I presume you'll be able to hear me loud and clear. So today is more of like, I think most of is there anybody who are first time over here? Just a show of hand. Because I see quite a lot of familiar names. So I assume that all of you have heard me speak for the past 2 sessions. So, but I just don't want to miss out. Is there anybody who is new to the webinar? If there is, please let me know before I start, all right, so that I can know what to advise you and then what to actually let you know. Okay, is there anybody? All right, I presume that all of you are very seasoned, all right? Okay, so actually I'm in Taipei right now, so I'm doing this for now, and this is my first time doing this overseas. It's proof that online is everything is possible online. All right. So today we the whole thing that we start, all right, we always, I tell you that before we go into the chart, what we do we have to, okay, anybody know what do we have to know? All right, type in the chat or anything. All right, we need to do the top-down approach. We need to see what is happening in the world. You're right. You can't just go into the chart and know expect or by looking at candlestick or you'll win big time already. So there are two main factors in the global sector that is affecting the equities market worldwide, including the Singapore market, US market, and maybe we'll talk about the Hang Seng Index and stuff like this. All right, so two main factor. All right, we have the two wars. All right, that's affecting. So I think the Russia-Ukraine war is still ongoing, and this war is not likely to be stopped anytime near in near term. So we are likely to see the war going on. But I think that there's one more war that's happening in Middle East between Israeli and Hamas. Well, that happened. That's a year ago already. So this has been ongoing for 1 year, and as it escalated more and more as bigger into the region, including Iran, which is the Persian region of the whole Middle East. I think that this is not just Hamas and Israel. It's more like the 6 Arab-Israeli war. So there are total of 5 Arab-Israeli war since 1948, and then 1967, 1972, 1980s, and then 2006. There's a war that has been happening, and this caused the war to escalate right now. So what happened in Israel is Benjamin Netanyahu actually want to hold on to power. So he reject any peace talk with the enemy party, so is to solidify his power. So right now, every move he make, every move that the pro-nationalist government in Israel make is to drag the whole Americans into the war in the Middle East. All right, this actually, which I'll share later, this actually breaks the whole Middle East strategy that the US has laid. So the US right now is it's kind of like a lame duck right now, and yet they cannot let go of Israel because the Israeli lobby is the largest lobby in the whole US, larger than NRA instead. All right, just to keep it short. All right, second thing. All right, we saw Japan LDP actually lost during Sunday's snap election, and this is the third time since 2009 that the ruling party LDP actually lost power in that. So this bring a relief rally into the Nikkei index. Why is because the Prime Minister in Japan, Shigeru Ishiba, is actually a very hawkish person that encourage rate rise and fiscal cut to the Japanese economy. So he favors a stronger yen. He favors a rise in interest rate by the BOJ. All right. So when his LDP loss is actually that the BOJ will likely take a breather. So Ueda will likely to track carefully. But this is not as simple as it seems. So I think there's a possibility that the BOJ will need to see what will happen to FOMC if they take a 25 basis cut. I think the Bank of Japan will likely raise by another 0.1% hike for the Japanese yen. All right, and now you see how the Eurozone is slow growth, slow CPI numbers, and particularly Eurozone and in Germany itself, economy is not doing well. So today, if you read the report, actually Volkswagen is trying to shut down 3 plants and then cut the pay of every staff in Volkswagen by 10%. So this never happened in Germany before. This is the first time that actually Volkswagen have to resort to this kind of effect of this as well. All right, so this may force ECB to have a very strong aggressive cut to spur the economy, but based on my opinion, I think their hands are tight. The ECB hands are tight, the economy's hands are tight, so there isn't any strong forces going on. So I foresee that the euro is likely to weaken against the dollar. The dollar still remains very dominant. Okay, so geopolitical, and then we will see that the European Union that is running a problem. So this is the main thing that actually I will be facing on because I think that the austerity program is actually facing a lot of issue for Germany itself. So Germany has been very pro or austerity. So you know that their government don't really spend a lot of money on the defense and a lot of things on it itself. So I think Germany will be a very strong very big problem. Rather I think EU or like this the euro against USD is likely to actually weaken in the long run. So actually all eyes will be on the Federal Reserve. In fact, every central bank, including Singapore MAS, will be looking at how how the Federal Reserve is going to behave, how the Federal Reserve is going to propose rate cut, how the Federal Reserve, the tone of Jerome Powell. All right. So another thing about FOMC, I think other than FOMC that which I mentioned earlier, will be the upcoming presidential election goes one every 4 years. So that's why you can see that market has been very, very volatile recently. All right. So we can see that I think there's a possibility of a strong bearish correction or a strong bullish run up resulting in a bull trap before means that there's a possibility that market will go up, hit a high and then came crashing down, or it can go correction and then high and then came crashing down again. So either way, over long term likely to go up, but midterm or stuff like this, we're actually looking at a possible cut itself. All right, possible dip in the equities market, particularly the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So all eyes, I think, why I think the Federal Reserve is not going to have a massive cut like the 50 basis point, like what happened in September, October period. First reason is because the economic data came in was better than expected. Unemployment rate was better than expected. NFP jumped, but I suspect there's some rigging on to give them the excuse that the excuse to the Fed that, hey, we don't do a massive rate cut on this. Reason why is because the Chinese actually has a flooding the market with massive stimulus when the Fed announced after 1 week. All right, then the Chinese equities, you can see that, oh, immediately the Chinese came in. But I think the Chinese market, right, will either go sideways for consolidate in a long time. This not do this topic, but let me explain to you. I think that the Chinese will likely to consolidate for a while before deciding on the next move. What's the next move? Although I think that there's high probability, 60% to 70%, that it might rally once more to a new high, but we still factor in there's a probability of 40% that there's maybe a correction down. All right, and then we can see because the Chinese government is actually looking at a possible scene where the Federal Reserve, what are they going to do? Are they going to cut 50 basis point, which is out of the picture right now? Highly unlikely. Are they going to cut 25 basis point? Then at the same time, if the Feds are not cutting, then the Chinese will not release their stimulus on the second round. All right, because they don't want capital outflow to the US itself. All right, so and thus I think the massive rate cut is slim. Also I mentioned, don't be surprised if there's no rate cut. Jerome Powell say, oh, we need to hold and etc. All right. Okay, so right now the yield curve is actually inverted. All right, so anybody still remember what I talked about the yield curve? All right, please be participating enough to go on, otherwise the webinar will end very early. All right, I really want you to participate. Just type in an answer in the chat or on the Q&A. Either one is fine. All right, so anybody still remember what I talked about the yield curve? If it breaks zero, what will happen? All right, what is the scenario that will happen? What are the chances that the market is going to go going forward? Anybody want to take a deep dive into it? Okay, nobody, I assume. So, okay. All right. So actually, I think, okay, so what I believe that is, you remember that I mentioned that when it's uninverted, is over here, somewhere here. All right, then the market is likely, but right now it has uninverted and then break above the zero. So it's back positive above zero line, zero. Okay, so this means that while market is going up, so if this accelerate, all right, then market might have chance to humble. All right, so this is always the yield curve play that we have. All right, so a lot of people think that, oh, you've inverted, then you have a recession, but you see that inversion, and then after a rally, a short spike, then start the recession. So I foresee maybe next year we will be in a very, very tough time for the US market and in the global arena as well. Okay, so we shall do some recap after understanding of the global macroeconomics. Nothing much changes. Two wars, and then FOMC rate cut, and then what are we going to see? So what country are we going to focus on? US, Hong Kong, China, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, or Indonesia? All right, you guys will know the answer by yourself right now. All right, after attending so many webinar by Kong Hao, by Singfu, and by me. So I think is the most easiest to understand. All right, so anybody still remember? Okay, so we have touched on the global macroeconomic environment. We have touched. Now then fund flow intermarket analysis. So it's like gold, bond, and equities or currency, which AKA cash. Okay. All right, so I think right now, I think the bond market and the equities market are still on the rise. I think prices for the bond market is still rising, so people are still investing into the treasury bill itself, the fixed income, and then after that, currency wise, dollar index coming back with a strength, breaking 104 resistance, turn support, so likely to see further upside going forward. So right now, I think we are going to focus which country is leading, what country are we going to focus on, and stuff like this. So we understand it by looking at each country index, and then we go do. So during the first half of the year is South Korea and Taiwan, and then after that, Hang Seng came back recently, but soon died out. So the leader is still on the United States economies. All right, then recently on ASEAN front, I think ASEAN still holding well, but on this week, I think KLCI corrected the most, followed by the the Thailand Set Index, and then followed by what do you call it, the Indonesia Composite Index. So they are overbought, correction, normal. All right. So I think I placed a lot of emphasis on this previously, sector rotation. So anybody has any question about RRG? All right. All right. I think anybody tried stockchart.com to try RRG? All right. Anybody? Okay. There's no one. I think both of you are expert already. So, all right. No worries. All right. Okay. All right, so next one will be on the business cycle. So this one is boom and bust. I think right now we are at this scenario, commodities and stock and bonds. We are actually somewhere around here. All right, going to here already, or here. All right, so anytime it corrects, I think when out of three, two is on the rise, I think we are near a peak. And then once you see stocks correcting, which we are quite near, after this picks up, the stock correct majorly on a three-way pattern, then we are likely to see that a possible correction is likely to come going forward for this. All right. Okay, so next one. All right, so this one I'm not going to go through. So I touched on how do you spot the leading sector even during a downtrend and etc. So one method is to use the RRG, which you can be find on the stock chart. So it's divided by 4 quadrants, which I think if you watch my previous video, you are there already. All right, and then use charts with various indicator of momentum and price action. One of the thing is very simple, is to use trend lines and etc. And then followed by price action going forward. All right, so this is the RRG. This one is the one that I introduced to you all in the first session this year for Trade with the Pros. Please go and play with it around. I find it very, very beneficial to actually use this as well. Okay. All right, so MACD, I talk about how the MACD, I use it 12 day, 26 day, this is the standard, but why did I move it up to enlarge it to 50, 220? Because I want a smoothing reading. But I also recommend that how you guys going to use 50 and then how you're going to use the default and then the long term to create when's to buy, when's to sell, when's to exit, when's to exit half, and then when's to to ride the trend going forward. All right, personally you can use, so I mentioned the last session that you can mix and round. You need to find a balance by yourself. All right, so I provide you with the tools, provide you with my methodology, so you guys go in and then talk about it. All right. Okay, so momentum indicator, MACD, and then buy and sell. This one, I believe. Any questions so far for the MACD? Any question do you want to clarify first? Before I move on. All right, anybody? Okay, no one. All right. Okay, it seems that today will finish quite fast. All right. So this is the default, and then but I prefer to use the 250, and then I know the on this to avoid whipsaw and stuff like this. So this is the one that the long term, and then this one perhaps you can do it as short term. Okay. Okay, so all right, and then stochastic oscillator, I talk about it, so I won't go through it because I want to go on live session on this as well with you. On this, so I will use it on later on. Or I'll show you the chart that I use it on my transporter report as well as such like this. So if you want to know more about this, watch my second recording on the stochastic oscillator MACD, and then you want to know about sector rotation, go watch my RRG, the one that I talked about it during the first session with the Trade of the Pros. All right, so stochastic oscillator. Okay, so still remember this chart, no? Anybody? All right, so these are the oscillator. So can see that this is a short term. All right, this is a short term, and then this is the long term. Okay, so what does it says? All right, oversold, and then after that going in down. So long term still still down. Not yet to cross, but the short term crosses over here, and then you can take a chance to buy, but I won't. But eventually the market went up to test a high over here at $39 and over here. All right, after they oversold, and then goes up all the way. But I would like to watch over here. But actually, if that's when the long term actually crosses below and then went up, this signaling the very strong bullish upside going forward on this. Okay, so I think no question for now. So before I want to see the Q&A. The chat got nothing, so I would like to see the Q&A for now.
Yeah,
Let's
Wei
see.
Ren, Nixon here. There's a
Yes.
comment on chat in the chat box.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Haryanto asks, Mr. Wijaya asks, actually, which indicator do you rely on the most? I don't rely on a lot of indicators. I rely on, rather, I use them as a confirmation. I believe most of you that have joined previously will know that I use indicator as a sign of like, hey, tell me how's the momentum like. But if you really want to ask the indicator that I rely on the trend line, the price action, and the volume. All right, volume is the most important thing that I rely on. So if you ask me, right, why do I not choose about this to buy on this first up, because strong selling. Although it rebounded at $33, $32.50 level, with a bullish bar, inside bar, blah blah blah, gap bar, but volume still was down, though there's oversold. So what you can do now, all right, actually that time I suggest you can actually buy here, wait wait out to right, or you can buy at 10% allocation, or maybe let's say $100,000, you can use maybe $20,000 worth to ride the trend up, and then allocate the rest to come down. So once the real trend is formed, then you slowly stack your slowly add on to your position, like maybe 10 more 20, then maybe 10%, 10%, 10%, 10% onto the upside again. But for DBS, I think from the fundamental point of view, things are working well. I think dividend yield play is good, and then all the three banks, all right, if they have a great fall, I think a three-way correction, I think that is a time to accumulate on weakness. All right. Okay, so still remember, if you put all together plus trend lines, all right, will be a very strong strategy that you can actually focus on. All right, so actually this session is much more, I want it to be interactive. So because most of you have already known how I do it, simple, right? I mean, if you think that it's simple, type 1. If you think that it's not, type 2. All right, just seek your participation on it. All right, because if not, I will just go on through, and then I do not know what you know. and then I'll just go on. All right. So I give you some time, think about it. Type 1 if you think that's simple. Type 2 if you think that's hard, don't understand, and then forget it. I'm going to do on my own system. All right, just type in the chat, all right? Okay, I'll give you all some time. Okay, seems like nobody's participating. All right. Okay, so okay, no problem. All right, so this is my Telegram group. You can join, and then for the latest HGX stock update, and then see what it can be, and then go on to join, and then you can ask questions every time I post. I give you a chance to ask me questions on the chat. I give you my email. Only a few of you actually actually ask me question. The rest, no. So I think that most of you are great, doing well, doing okay, and I'm glad that you guys are doing okay. All right. So keep safe, and then always go strong with your investing. Right? Remember, Warren Buffett always says, "Don't lose money." All right. Okay. So before I go into live charting and stuff like Q&A, think about it. What question do you want to ask? And stuff like this. So right now, I give you some time to think about it. In the meanwhile, I shall pass my time to Nixon for to share about the upcoming things before I go into Q&A. Nixon, do you have anything to share first?
Right, all right. Thank you, Wei Ren. So if you have any questions, do feel free to key in the Q&A box for Wei Ren. Take the opportunity, especially now. It's very nice of him to still present the session, even though he's on holiday in Taiwan. Yeah, okay. Let me just share my slide. Hold on. Okay, so basically, just to share with you, as you know, this is a webinar under the Learn from the Pro series, which is a series of webinar brought to you for free under the CGS management. So we will really appreciate if you can give us your feedback for the webinar itself, because your feedback will support us to continue to bring such webinar to you for free. So allow me to just share in the chat box the feedback link. So appreciate if you can give us your feedback. You can also, in the feedback, let us know what topic you would like us to look into in the coming webinars. You can, of course, also use the QR code by scanning it and giving us feedback over there. So with that, I'll just hand back to Wei Ren for the questions. Yeah, maybe Wei Ren, if it's possible, later on
Yes.
when you look at the later on when you look at the chart,
Yeah.
maybe you can run us through the steps that you presented just now, like how
Sure.
you step by step look at the chart. For example, let's say DBS, how to
Yes.
actually do a top down, and then which are the indicator or the price section of what you're looking at to come to a conclusion.
Yeah. Okay, so if
Yes.
you look at DBS Group Holding, the last I did was 20th September. So the reason why I did DBS, I reinitiated a buy. First up, I think if you know that I have this super long thing is I look at the MACD crossover, still rising on the top, and then histogram is what? Positive. MACD on the other hand is rising. The midterm MACD is rising. So this 60. Let me see. Let me just get up, and then yeah, is around 61 12 12. This is my midterm MACD. So and then one thing is it break above the new high on this. All right, and then price action wise, the bullish flag, BF, boyfriend. All right, actually it's an acronym for bullish flag. It breaks up and then break above the high of 37.90, and then it went up again. So currently it's trending onto a new high again. So if you look at the chart, let me see. Okay, Okay. DBS, what's my DBS? Okay, let me see. Okay, let me erase everything. Okay, so DBS went up, then went up to a new high, came down, touched a support, and then you know, the next one is history. Right now, the stock, all right, some sort of like weakening buy, so consolidation. So looking for the next support at $37.90. But meanwhile, you can see that despite oversold, prices still consolidate without making any new high. Potential, yes, there may be a double top. So there are two things you can do. All right, if you buy, right now your positive position, you can scale out, or you can exit totally with some profit, and then buy on a other position, or you can close half. All right, secure half of the profits, and then have some money on your hand, or some cash, and then wait for any turnout rebound at $37.90 or $36.20 on this, and then $31.83 lower for rebound. So for DBS, I give although I'm looking at the technicals, I'm looking for a long-term play on this. All right. Okay. So far, any question on DBS before I move on to the next one? Okay, so if you have any stocks, Singapore stocks or any US stocks or Hong Kong stocks you want me to analyze using the same methodology I preach, I shared on the last two sessions, please feel free to type in the Q&A. If not, I'll just move on. All right. So okay, so next one will be on Mapletree Industrial Trust. Okay. Nice CI. Okay, I'll come to that. Okay. Answer live. Okay, wait. Let me just erase this one. Okay, so okay. Okay, so okay. So nice CI. No, blah blah blah. Mapletree Industrial Trust, 17 July. All right. And then why did I do that? All right. First up, I view this as a bottom play. Okay. And then breakout is, do you see that the strong breakout over here? All right, let me just use the pen, and then write up this one, strong breakout, and then you can see that my midterm is what? Showing a sign of oversold. Okay, ROC is up, and then the volume came up very strongly. All right, it means that buying interest come in, and then true enough, all right. Okay, so true enough, I have seen, and then true enough, let me just go back, and then this one, 17 July, 15, 16, 17 July, went up, and then hit my first target price of 2.45, and then subsequently almost, I don't think it hit 2.64. Yeah, almost hit. All right, but I 2.59 before it correct. So right now, I think I will exit all my position. Anybody want to know why I will exit all my position on REITs? All right, given that what I shared, okay, the clue is everything on the share. All right, I would really want you all to participate so that I can know what is going on. All right, what you guys think of it. All right, so anybody want to give a shot or why I close everything, and perhaps I might go short on this. All right, based on all the indicators that is shown on the screen on this. All right, type in the chat, please. All right, let me know. Next time you want to participate also can. All right, if you answer correctly, I'll buy you lunch of your choice.
Okay, let me think. But
Yeah.
yeah, just there's no right and wrong, I think. So
Yes, there's no right or wrong. Okay.
give your opinion. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, let me. Wow, buy lunch. Okay, Sulim said, yes, interest rate might not go down as you wish. Correct. That's the bigger major picture. That's why it caused the REITs to actually go down. All right, anybody? Wow, Michael. Michael, you want to type your thing, or yeah, Michael, you want to say something? Short answer will do also can. All right. Wow, this is getting interesting, man. I really love all your participation. Yes, we are coming back, man. Yeah. All right, Michael, what do you think? Let's wait for Michael to type his answer. Yeah, Sulim said interest rate might not go down as we wish. All right, Sulim say one. Very good. This is a macro from a macro point of view. Anybody want to join? Anybody want to say anything? Yes. Wow, Mr. Ng, CP, Mr. Ng, stochastic heading down. Good, good lord, good job. Sorry, click wrongly. No problem, Michael. Right, yes, stochastic oversold, overbought, sorry. And then cross down over here. And then if I may answer, okay, I'll give you all one more clue. This one. Do you see where I circle now? And then do you see something? Yes. Okay. And then the ROC short term also go down. All right. And then the volume also down. Okay. Volume also down. Okay. And then everything down. Okay. Trendless situation. So, and then you can see that despite this bullish bar yesterday, wow, I see, wow, engulfing. Then today, lao hong already. All right. And then almost breaking the cloud. Okay. So the next session, I'll talk more on Ichimoku. Okay. So let's don't talk about Ichimoku. Let's look at the thing. All right. Okay, so right now, golden cross now cross below already. So it means that that we are likely to hit lower. Okay. So maybe 234 and then 225 before rebounding again. All right. So this is what I think that why I'll exit everything. I won't short because shorting is a bit dangerous because almost my 230 rebound very strongly because the Fed may say I'm going to cut 75 basis points, 3 basis points. Happen, it might happen. All right. Let you know, I didn't anticipate that Fed is going to cut 50 basis point that time. Or I thought it's going to 25 basis point. You see, I got it all wrong. Okay. All right. Let me see. Is there any Q&A? Sorry, click wrongly. Okay. So, next one. Check. Yes, is this happening to most of the REITs? So if you join my Telegram group, you actually know that I actually have 2 REITs that I call short. All right. This is A17U. Okay. And then this is what I have. All right. Let me close. Okay. This one I cross. Okay. So if you know technical sell, why? Because rounding top, head and shoulder, price action, everything is pointing down. All right. So I call a short. And then guess where we are? 2.78. And then we are now down to 2.72. So my sell limit is 2.88. 没有中到. So it is around here. All right, I thought that you go here and then come down, but testing a 200-day moving average, but not. I don't think it will go up any higher. So now, right now, we are in a bearish territory at the moment. Okay. So another one I call it a short will be Fraser center point. Center point, yes, I think. Yeah, center point trust, also larger degree. And then capital land integrated on this. Okay. So Fraser center point, same thing. Everything. You see? Same structure. Going down. Do we have the same thing as well? J69U. Okay. Okay, so we do have a similar structure, right? But this one is slightly better, range bound, but going down. So there's still a risk of going down to 2.11 before rebound. Okay, what I will say is larger trend is still on the upside. Okay, on this. Okay, all right. And then next one is CICT topping out as well. So C3AU. All right, came down, and then this is my recent one. Yes. Let me refresh. Okay, so come down and stuff like this. Okay, so this one that I will be very, very careful. All right, the next one is CICT came down as well already. And Ichimoku showing 3 bearish gap cross. So I think I foresee a lot of bearish downside for CICT. Actually, especially after it hit 2.20 at the top on this. All right. So I think there's a question on, I think someone asked Capital Invest, popping out, tested 2.84 support and then failed to rebound. So tomorrow might rebound a bit, but if the rebound is weak, then likely we're going down again to 2.57, 2.71 on this. So I would say that right now Ichimoku is showing 2 out of 3 bearish crossover. But let's say if you look at the moving average, yep, right now we are in a correction right now. So it might any chance it might break below and then test 2.71. Everything is facing down. So I will say that I will short, but I'll call it a day by closing all my position and then wait and see. Because there might be run a risk of further downside going forward again. All right, I hope that answer your question, SK. All right. Okay, any more questions before I pass the time to Nixon? Right, it's very simple. So I think most of you are very expert in the strategy that I implemented. It's nothing secret, no secret at all. You don't need to be rocket scientist, know all that to be successful. So yeah, you just need to follow system and then choose quality big cap, large cap stocks on this to try out. No use trying on small caps. Small caps are not very, very effective. All right. Okay, SX3 is SD engineering. Okay, so SD engineering still on the upside, but the consolidation, so we are right now at a risk. But SD engineering, there's one thing. You look from macro top down, right? It's actually very defensive, not because it's sell weapon, but it's a stock that will do well in any time of the market, all right, be it recessionary and stuff like this. So you do have a pump and then correction down and then stay support at $4.50. I think that it's likely to edge up higher based on this. So far, no signal suggesting a imminent correction. Unlike the REITs, but I can see that the short-term momentum is dwindling. So there are two things you can do. Exit your position, or you can just hold on. But for me, I will just continue to hold on this for SD engineering. All right. Okay. Thank you. Any more questions? Maybe I'll do a last one on Semcon Industry. All right, Semcon Industry, darling, my darling. All right, hit almost. I thought you're going to hit the high, but fails to hit 5.72. Now is a correction. Right now 2 out of 3 bearish crossover. Midterm and short term ROC is looking at a peak, and then you can see that the directional movement index start to cross, and then ADX peaks and decline, so that it shows that we are looking at a possible three-wave move, larger degree three-wave move. So it may just go like this and then goes all the way here at I believe is over here at $4.74 to $4.40 on this. So everything is on the high side. All right. Perhaps maybe I show you how's the STI doing. All right. Okay, so that's chart. Okay, so wow, the yen breaks STI. Okay, so the STI consolidating on this, so likely to be range bound up, open higher tomorrow, then sell down, open higher tomorrow, sell down. Then after that, I think that 3519 or 3440 will be a better rebound to look at. So I think that there may be a sell down before rebound. Okay. SMCI, I don't have Simsky. All right, I don't have Simsky on my chart, but you can use it as SDI. Simsky, I think futures hit 350 already, so I think will be. I think Simsky will rise further because of the further support from Grab and C. All right, I hope that answers your question. If not, I pass my time to Nixon. Nixon, to you.
All right, thanks, Wei Ren. Just allow me to share my screen again. One. All right, so let me move to the next slide. So just a quick reminder, for future webinars as well as all past recordings, including today's recording, do remember this URL. You can always go back to the Learn from a Pro page to access the recording to watch. And then, of course, quick reminder, if you're interested to attend the ERA and CGSI session on the 9th of November, Saturday at 2 p.m., do feel free to join us. You can sign up with this URL as well as using the QR code. And of course, do feel free to invite your friends and family as well. And then last but not least, we appreciate if you can give us your feedback so that we can continue to bring this webinars, this series of webinars and Learn from Pros to you for free. Let me see if there's anything else in the chat box. Okay. I can see that Wei Ren, there's a chat, right? You were asking whether they are interested to learn more about Ichimoku. Yeah, Wei Ren, can you hear me?
Yeah. This why I wrote.
Right. So if you're keen, do put in a Q&A, the feedback form as well about Ichimoku, and then we then can actually do a dedicated session to elaborate more on Ichimoku. Very useful technical analysis too. So with that done, if there is no more question, then we will call the section to a close. I will just leave the slide here right now so that you can do your feedback if you want to. But if there's no more questions, then we will officially close the session now. So goodbye, everyone. And thank you for attending.